once again everyone, and welcome back to another V8 Vets season number 20 track guide. This week it is the final round of the season. Round number 10 here at Sandown for the retro round. Hoping to see a lot of retro liveries on the team's cars this week. Love seeing some retro liveries. Really, yeah, makes things a bit different. Makes things a bit special seeing all those old retro liveries coming out, which is really cool with that modern twist, like your modern logos and personal team logos and that sort of stuff. So yeah, looking forward to seeing some really nice retro liveries for this final round of the season. Sandown, oh, what can I say? I've got a bit of a love-hate relationship with this track. Yeah, I seem to have good pace here, but I've only ever had one good result. Every other time I've done a race here, I have been taken out. Most of the time going into Dandenong Road. So, yeah, love-hate relationship, but yeah, awesome track. Looks very simple on paper, as I've said before with a few other tracks, but we all know Sandown can bite hard. So, just ask Todd Hazelwood if we all remember that crash from a few years ago. But yeah, it should be a good final race to the season. Finish season 20 off with a bang. But yeah, that all being said, we'll hit the track and get stuck into the track guide for the final round. Okay, here we are on track at Sandown. In the spirit of things, with the retro round, I've slapped on my retro livery. Dean Favell has done an amazing job with these liveries for our team. Mine being the green-eyed monster that we all know and love from when Lownsy went to the dark side and joined the Blue Oval with that awesome-looking AU Falcon. So yeah, he's done an amazing job with all our retro liveries for this round. So massive thanks to Dean for all his hard work. Make sure you tune in and have a look at those, because yeah, he's put a lot of effort into those. So thanks again, Dean. Right, here we go. Brake bias that I sort of came to was 52.6. Sort of seeing a trend here when it comes to what sort of brake bias I like. When it comes to Jamie's setups, I always seem to start around 52.4 and then usually work up. Don't usually work back. But 52.6 for this track seemed to be nice. A little bit of pinching of brakes in a couple of spots, but it is manageable. Just because of the way the track sometimes cambers off and a few of the bumps, but you'll get that with any of the brake biases, really. This stops a lot of that rear locking being that high up, which is what you want. Setup was quite nice over a race run. As you can see here, after 9 laps, we're still at a, in the 1 minute 6s, which is really nice. It's very consistent. I was looking after the tyres pretty well. Started to get a little bit taily on the rear, but just got to sort of manage your throttle inputs there in those low speed corners. But it does ride the curbs really nicely. Could be a little bit better, but yeah, really loving this setup. Whenever the vets come to Sandown, Jamie seems to work his magic really well, and I really do love the setups that he does for Sandown. And I've also tuned a few and used them myself when it comes to Scops and East Coast. And yeah, so well done, Jamie, for this setup. So my best lap for the session was a 1 minute 6.180. That's pretty damn fast, if I must say. I was pushing pretty hard to get to the 1 minute 5s, but yeah, sort of almost at the limit. There's probably another tenth or so in it just by riding those curbs that little bit better. But yeah, quite happy with that 1 minute 6.18. And yeah, you can sort of see I was fairly consistent in the 1 minute 6.2s. Did a few of them. But yeah, good setup, nice track. And let's get stuck into the setup, into this track guide. We've come around, done our normal out lap, slow, nice and slow for Sandown. Plenty of grip once you get up and running. We'll take a nice wide line to help give us that little bit more speed going into turn 1. A lot of people stay to the inside of this yellow line. You don't need to. Bring it all the way out. And we're braking just as we're sort of getting to this, guardrail here. That's in between the two bits of concrete. There's sort of that entry road or exit road here. Braking hard, down into third gear. I'll use a little bit of inside curb, and we won't use all the exit curb. Sort of unsettles the car too much. Just a little bit on the exit here. Use it as a motocross berm. Staying in third gear, hitting the limiter. You heard I was hard on the cut for the limiter there. Braking just as we get to this access road here. Staying in third gear through here. I find second gear props the car that little bit too much and slows you down. So staying in third does take a little bit of time to get used to. Turning in, lots of curb. Okay? Basically we want to be using, we can see the bit of extra tarmac or concrete or whatever it is on the inside here. You want to be using it. It's there, we may as well take advantage of it. So right over the top, you will use the lip, and as soon as we're nice and straight, we're on the brakes, and we'll use a little bit of this exit curb here to help straighten the car up. Down in the second, some people do like to get up on top of this curb. With this setup, it was a little bit tricky to do so. If you see Scops or the Pro Series later on, you will see, possibly, depending on their setups, the top teams, and hopefully, if I can tune my setup a little bit nicer, we'll be getting up on top just to sort of straighten up our exit a little bit. Was just a little bit hard with this setup, the way the front end is set, but all in all, still a nice exit. Just missing it. Use this exit curb as a motocross berm again, and then up through the gears. Trying to keep your steering wheel as straight as possible through that little right-hander here, and then keeping it nice and straight. And we're braking right as we're getting, as the road sort of crests here, all this excess road here on the right-hand side. Down into fifth gear. Use all the inside and back on the throttle again. Up and over the top of this right-hander of the curbing here. You can use quite a lot of it without getting an off track, which is nice. And then slamming it down the gears, using the engine braking to help slow the car up. Down into second, up over the curb, again using this exit curb as a motocross berm. Straighten our car up. Now I'm looking for this skid mark here. It's quite faint, but I can see it, and I'm aiming for the end as my braking marker. Down into second gear. Lots of this first curb to try and open up for the final corner. We want to stay as not super close to the edge here, but as close as we can. Staying on the rubber line, and we don't want to be touching this curb at all. It'll stuff our run up onto the main straight and hurt our lap time and possibilities of an overtaking maneuver. Use nice lots of exit. If you're going for just a normal lap, we're running it all the way out to the edge here. But for your qualifying lap, staying nice and tight and heading straight for the line. And there you have it. The final track guide done for Season 20. another driver's track, Sandown. You got to be really attacking those curbs as much as possible, letting the car flow. Not trying to prop the car up too much. But yeah, like I said, through that first chicane, staying in that third gear, allowing the car to just flow nice and easy over those curbs. A lot of lap time through there. A lot of lap time through that final chicane as well. So just getting in that rhythm, nice and smooth on your wheels, and yeah, you'll find a lot of lap time. So we'll go on board now into the cockpit, and you can have a look at how I attack the lap. And there we go, the final track guide done for Season 20. Hopefully you've all learnt something this season, whether it's about your braking, how I brake, how I'm turning the car, how smooth I am on the wheels, just little things. Hopefully you've picked up a few little tricks that you can put into your toolbox for later seasons. Yeah, glad to see the support. Thank you all for tuning in each week. Yeah, it's good to see people improving just by watching these little videos, and sort of, you know, guys, my cat goes nuts in the background. Yeah, just learning a few little tricks, bits and pieces of what I do. Yeah, not having to spend the big bucks to do it. So, yeah. Hopefully you've all enjoyed. Enjoy your last race of the season. Have some fun. Can't wait to see all those retro liveries. And we'll see you next season for round 1 of season 21. Bye bye.